Good afternoon, Tampa Bay. Here we are at another Tampa Bay Talks brought to you by the DuPont Registry Tampa Bay, located right here at the World International Headquarters just west of the St. Petersburg Airport in Pinellas County. Actually, our address is Clearwater. I'm here today with David Warner, our editor-in-chief.
Hi there.
David, always good to be with you, and we're going to talk to you about our latest issue of the magazine, the DuPont Registry Tampa Bay. And the fact that we've got some unique articles. This is our holiday issue, full of all kinds of interesting items, not the least of which, you see the cover. Looking out somebody's back deck with a wreath and the lights in the distance. Very Christmas, very Florida. And an interesting article inside, following up on the cover story about Christmas decorations, holiday decorations, and interior decorating. David, this was a big article for us to get. It's a good story, right?
Yeah, Andrea Laura in Elegant Interiors was the interior designer we interviewed. I noticed in doing my research that she's among those designers who make a special point of making holiday decor as one of the projects they can do for you. So in other words, you don't need to put up nothing. She'll come to the house with and she has great sourcing abilities around the country for designs like no one else will have, and she's done all kinds of different professional athletes' homes, other businessmen's homes, and she'll do what you need. She did an upside down Christmas tree in one lobby. I believe we have a picture of that in the book, and she tells me in the story some of the anecdotal things. She also says, what is that old saying about the cobbler's kids have holes in their shoes? She is always last in the block, if ever, to put up her own decorations, so you don't have to feel so bad if you're a little bit late on yours.
Well, you know that this is the time to put up your outside lights, your inside lights, your Christmas tree. My tree is halfway. I got the light. I got it up. I got the lights on it, and it actually has gone 24 hours now. And it hasn't fallen over.
All right.
Key item.
Good job.
So one of the things we wanted to make sure we touched on in this issue was shopping locally. And that doesn't mean you have to physically go there, incidentally. It means you can cyber shop, if you will, at local stores. We think that the backbone of America, you hear the story all the time, is small business. We've got lots of small businesses in this community that have wonderful gifts for you to use, to buy for your people you're going to give a gift to this season. And so we put in a little special section about them. We really got some really unique stuff.
Yeah, our writer Catherine Mitzi's brought together a number of really interesting small businesses that have very robust online services, so that you can, rather than going through, say, a big box or an Amazon, you can go right to their sites. Everyone from an art gallery like Sid Entel in Safety Harbor to the Shave Cave in the Sundial complex in St. Petersburg. Lots of ideas for online gifts, and I think, as Catherine says, with customer service that probably will top any of these other bigger outfits.
Well, there's some jewelry and some stuff for your pet, and Salt Essentials Wellness, where you can get a gift certificate and go get all cleaned up and sit in the sauna. You're right. We have some gifts for men here. The Shave Cave that down in St. Pete that offers up all kinds of stuff for bearded people, as well as people who have are interested in grooming. That would be David and I, because we spend a lot of time on our hair together. One of the things you do during over the holidays is have festive meals.
You eat.
You can't go wrong. So we did a interview, if you will, with the master chef Jeff Philbin, is that the right?
Right. You may have seen him on TV. He's been a star in a number of reality cooking, Food Network type shows, and he is local. And if you are in a position where you'd rather not do the work of cooking, or you'd rather take some of the worries out of what is a kind of a fraught holiday this year, someone like him, and we suggest 4 other local private chefs that you can turn to help out with your feast.
And doesn't Jeff do Zumba cooking classes as well, I think?
Zumba cooking classes?
Yeah.
That'd be a thing. I don't know. I think, does he do Zoom cooking classes?
He's been tailoring his Zoom cooking courses to this type of menu, so we can actually go on Zoom with him and learn what the next best dish is. Now, you know, one of our regular features in the magazine is our style and beauty section, which is curated by Michelle Capelli-Gordon. Michelle is just a stylist icon in the area. We're delighted to have her part of our team. She spent some time with one of our salespeople talking about how to upgrade their closet, if you will. And Michelle has a unique way of telling somebody that you should upgrade your clothes a little bit, add this accessory, do this. Interesting lady, and you want to draw special attention to her style page. Not only that, but the article on fashion, where she's helped one of our other folks, Tracy Serabin, pick out some new outfits.
And it's a combination of bringing clothes to you to choose from, but also looking through your own wardrobe and saying, what about this? Maybe this could work with this. And it's a way to get a fresh look at how you're dressing.
And then Michelle's got her beauty and wellness page where she's got grooming and some perfume and all those things that you absolutely must have for the holidays. She does such a terrific job every single issue and is available on her own website on an ongoing basis. Lots of stories and lots of Facebook contact with her. We recommend it if you want to be in style in Tampa Bay. Now, a couple of issues ago, we started a relationship with two crazy Airstream people. They had
weren't in
traveled
Airstreams yet.
Yeah, they traveled the world. Lauren Davenport and Daniel, just unbelievable pair that have traveled the world and actually got together with Airstream Tampa Bay and Airstream Corporate, got an Airstream and struck out across the United States trying to go to Wander Local is the name of their trip, to go to small towns and communities where they could go in, interview somebody, check with somebody, and still maintain their lifestyle of running marathons and doing all that kind of stuff. Pretty neat couple.
Amazing couple. You might remember the story that we wrote about them a couple of issues back was when they were stranded in Morocco right at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, and how they, because of their own experience as PR professionals, were able to sort of get the attention of the world to numbers of tourists that were also stranded there like themselves. And when they got back, they decided when they thought they might continue their travels, but that's not going to be the case these days. World travel is very much limited. So they decided to confine their journey this time around to the States with an Airstream, which they'd never driven or ridden in before. And we are beginning to run their accounts of their diary from their trip, including both the exciting parts and the less glamorous parts, like how to learn how to empty the poop tank and other parts of the.
It's called the black water
the
tank,
black water
not
tank.
the poop tank.
Well, casually speaking, yes. Okay, so it's a really great story. We'll be running videos. Really, they're a delightful couple on air as well as in print. So I think you'll enjoy them.
So one of the interesting parts of this article is the rookie mistakes.
Yes.
For everything that they didn't hook up or forgot to hook up or something that they backed into.
Right.
But fortunately, they never got disconnected while they were on the highway from the trailer. So pretty interesting group here. We've got our feature, Paradise Without a Passport, and this is a regular feature for the magazine. And in that feature, we talk about where you can go regionally without a passport. In fact, we go a little bit further than just regional, but we understand that in today's world, people are looking to travel someplace special, get there in their automobile primarily so they don't have to do public transportation, and spend a weekend or whatever relaxing. So Paradise Without a Passport is a regular feature. We have some Ritz-Carltons, I think, in this issue.
Right. Our writer Cindy Cockburn went to two Ritz-Carltons, the one in Sarasota and the one in Naples. And we have an additional story by Tracy Serabin about the inn at the inn on 5th in Naples. And I suspect after reading this issue, you're going to want to hightail it down to Naples because it certainly sounds like a wonderful place to sort of get some relaxation. And as we're saying, because in the pandemic, people are worried about travel by plane or outside of the state. It's worth knowing that all the establishments that we're writing about in this issue are very, very careful about COVID-19 and making sure you feel safe in their establishments. So that's a good thing to know when you're planning your trips.
So one of the places, if you have the ability to hang out during the pandemic and enjoy some privacy as well as some comfort, is on your yacht. So we did an interview, David did, with about beauty on board and the luxury of being on your own private yacht, even taking your pet along with you.
Yes.
If you could do
They have
that.
a fantastic
So,
pet.
David, did we get a chance to go stay on the boat or just do the article?
Just to visit it. Susan Winchester is an accomplished interior designer who has branched out and in recent years into specifically yacht design. She still does homes that are on solid ground, but she's become one of the leading designers for people with luxury yachts. And this was a really interesting chance to see the decisions that she made along with a couple whose yacht she designed, and how it really comes from the ground up, literally. I mean, they're involved in the process from before when the boat is still just a blueprint. And it's and she did a beautiful job on this boat, as I saw, and as you'll see in the pictures, Susan Winchester, and definitely hope to follow some of her work in the future too.
You know, what's unique about interior design on a yacht is you've got limited space, and you've got to make sure everything fits in the right corner, and also everything gets kind of tied down. So if it's a little bumpy out there,
that was interesting.
You don't find it all over the place.
She was pointing out some art objects that were in like the one of the berths, one of the bedrooms, and they were all anchored down to the bureaus and things. They looked like any other interior of a home, except you can't move them.
You got to keep things tied down in case you get into some rough seas. So this is a particularly beautiful yacht. It's a Marlowe 53, a fast trawler. Marlows are actually made, I think, in Taiwan or someplace like that. But their main office is right here
in Bradenton, right?
In Bradenton, just south of the Tampa Bay area. Beautiful yachts that we see a lot of. Of course, we have all of our real estate for you, and then we have the return of something important.
That was exciting to be able to return to doing an A&E calendar. We had put it on hiatus for a couple of months because so many things were being canceled and postponed because of the pandemic. But people have been finding ways to restart, whether they're restarting online or whether they're doing things outdoors. And also, you know, museums are reopening, and they become really good spaces for social distancing, particularly if you're in a museum like the James, which is vast, and or in a museum like the Museum of Fine Arts in St. Pete, which has had a complete rehab of its permanent collection. It's a beautiful experience, and I know from being there that they're very careful about the number of people that go in at any one time, which actually is nice to know. I mean, the idea of like crowding around a blockbuster piece of work like the Mona Lisa at the Louvre, maybe that's over with forever, and that'd be a good thing if they can time entry to any museum. And I definitely recommend going to the Museum of Fine Arts and going to the Dali, which has what sounds like a fabulous, immersive, high-tech experience of the art of Vincent van Gogh. And I think, or Guff, I've never been sure what the pronunciation is. But anyway, it's called Van Gogh Alive, and I highly recommend it. We've also got listings of lots of other events that are happening, most of which haven't been canceled yet. And
you know, things are being canceled and new things are starting up on an ongoing basis, on a regular basis. So we want to bring to your attention that we have Weekend Top 10, which recommends the top 10 things you might want to do this weekend, some of which are arts and some of which are cultural and some of them are outside activities.
Right.
And some of them are evening activities, so you can go look at the lights,
enjoy
the pier in St. Pete, where you can go on the pier, and lo and behold, you're outside. You can certainly stay 6 feet away at the pier.
You can strolling downtown St. Pete is a good outdoor distanced activity.
So we're also still being able to find people helping people. These folks in our community who go out and help others who are in need and have a need, and we're still able to get those people together, even in the pandemic, to be able to deliver some good cheer and good friendship and help to those who need a helping hand.
We highlighted, among other projects that have been happening this past fall, is a baker called Bacon Babes. who is affiliated with Gen X Tavern in Tampa, and they create something called Freak Shakes, which are amazing concoctions that are seem to be about this tall, and as tall as each of the children they're making it for, and it's all for the benefit of Pediatric Cancer Foundation. And if you order one of those, you're really helping a child who needs the help, and the child's family. I mean, I think that particular foundation is very attentive to the needs of the whole family as well as the child.
A lot of people were involved over the years, maybe 350 ladies, predominantly at the Planters Fall Luncheon, where they bring in a speaker to talk to them about motivation and some interesting different topics, and award scholarships to, 12 to 14 nurses to be able to help those nurses complete their education. The Planters is an affiliate of the Morton Plant Meese Hospital Foundation. And this year, in keeping with COVID regulations, they had a virtual event rather than the physical event of cramming everybody into a ballroom and having lunch and being too close to each other. The virtual event was a huge success. Everybody enjoyed it. They were able to get together in smaller groups in individual homes and see virtually what was going on. You could also do it from your desk if you needed to. Sponsors endorsed it just the same way they did when it was a live event. It was very successful for a very important philanthropy in our area.
And it was very moving to see the testimonials on video from the nurses who won scholarships from this foundation. It's you got a really good chance to see these deserving frontline healthcare people finding ways to continue in this field when, I would think there might be other choices you might want to make these days, but that's the kind of selfless people they are. And I just want to put a plug in for another organization and people helping people that did a pivot this season. The St. Petersburg Free Clinic, of which I'm a board member, usually has this event called Hunger Free to raise awareness of hunger in this area. And they usually have a big kind of bag lunch in the Coliseum. That would be impossible. So this time they had people drive up with donations of both food and money to the Jared Hetchkoff Food Bank, which is a major facility of the Free Clinic. And they raised all kinds of money, and volunteers were out in force taking money from and food donations from people in cars. And that's just another way in which people are making adjustments. They're finding ways to adapt.
So one of the important parts of each issue of the magazine is the back page. So this year we were able to borrow an article from Creative Loafing when they were selecting people around the community who had influenced the community in positive ways. They wrote an article titled Happy Warriors about our own David Warner and his husband, Larry Biddle, who were two of the motivators in St. Petersburg, and magnets as well as motivators as well as leaders. And I'll give you the quote out of the article, and then you can read more about it when you get your magazine. If David Warner and Larry Biddle didn't exist, it would be wise for us to invent them. And we're lucky to have gentlemen like Larry and David in our community, and people like those of you who are watching this podcast who reach out and help others in need and help motivate the community to do better and actually add some sense of tranquility as well as excellence as well as reaching for something new in our community. So, David, thanks to you and Larry for all you do for St. Pete, Pinellas County, and the Tampa Bay area.
Well, thank you for seeing into publishing this. It was a little bit embarrassing and a surprise to get this award from Creative Loafing. I thank them and John Palmer Claridge who wrote this piece. It really was a complete surprise to me, and thanks to Tom for deciding to run it in this issue.
Right, and so here's the issue. The holiday issue of the DuPont Registry Tampa Bay should be in your mailbox by now for sure. If it's not, you call us. Give us a call, get on the internet, come to our website, look for info at DuPontRegistryTampaBay.com, and we'll get a copy out to you. There's around the community where there are events, we're handing out a few magazines at the events to make sure that we get extra circulation for our advertisers so that they get a little bit more bang for the buck. And so we have the holiday issue. We wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll be back before the end of the year, I'm sure, with another broadcast from our headquarters in St. Petersburg, Clearwater. So, David, that's it for today. Thanks for being with us, and we're right on about time. We don't want to keep you too much longer. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what a great community we live in. We're having great weather. Yeah, there are 1,000 people a day moving here into the state of Florida. We're the place to be, and glad to have you all as neighbors. So my final words for today are: go out and make it a great day, Tampa Bay.